Alrighty then. Where is the stream? There is the stream. The stream is currently... Audio is working as it should. The stream's up, the chat's up, we're all good to go. That is fantastic. Now we will be waiting just a little while, folks. We do have, I believe, a couple more drivers set to join the lobby. I think we're meant to have 14 for tonight's race, which, if I'm being completely honest, is somewhat disappointing. I was really hoping for a lot more drivers to be showing up for tonight, especially after what happened last week over at Circuit Paul Ricard. To see that we only have so few is, yeah, a bit sad, but hey ho, it happens. I'm still hopeful for a pretty decent race regardless. Now, I do believe we're waiting on one more, and once that driver joins, I imagine we won't be too far away from the start of qualifying. Let's see here. Get the notes up and ready. Where is Twitch stream? There is Twitch stream. Okie dokie. I'll quickly check the Discord as well, just make sure that's okay. A couple of drivers asking for spare invites. Always a good idea to dish out some spare invites, especially in crossplay. Very difficult to invite people back in crossplay lobbies. And I do believe we have a new reserve driver as well in the form of Panda. See him there in the Red Bull. I think he joined recently. And yeah, no, hopefully he performs quite well in his first race here with Race Spec. I think we're waiting on Mash Jr. I'm pretty certain... Uh-oh. He just left. I think it was Plebs. I think Plebs dropped out. Plebs? No Plebs. Plebs dropped out. So hopefully Plebs can join back in as soon as possible. Still quite typical of Tier 1 as well. We're running a couple minutes late. As we normally do. But hopefully we're set for something interesting to happen here in Austria. Last week proved that when everything clicks together, we can have an entertaining race. And it was at Circuit Paul Ricard of all places. So here at Austria, my hopes were big, and then they were quashed by the sheer lack of drivers participating in the event. So, but as I've always known, field size, it is nice to have. It's always nice to have more drivers participating, but field size doesn't dictate race quality. You can have small fields and have entertaining races, just as having big fields and, you know, fairly poor races. They do happen from time to time. So here's me praying to the racing gods that we actually get an entertaining race. Hopefully though this won't take too much longer. Hopefully. Quickly check the Discord again. No news from the Discord, so I'm not really sure what's going on right now. Oh. Hopefully this won't take too much longer. Gee whiz. Once I saw 13 drivers in, I thought, yeah, why not? Start up the stream, wait for that one driver and we can get going. But no, we're just mindlessly waiting for something to happen. Whenever that something's going to happen. Plevs has rejoined us. Okay, good. So we're back up to 13. Can we find one more? Where is Mesh Jr.? He was set to reserve and he has not appeared. I think the ready up signal must have been given. I'll quickly check the Discord again. Oh, for some reason that disappeared on me. Where did Discord go? Discord. Yep. Ready up signal has been given. Once one more driver's ready is up, timer will pop up. There it is there. Once the timer hits 0, I'll start the intro as per normal and we can get this race session underway. Goodness me, I hope for F1 23 they make a slightly better theme than this. Something a bit nicer to listen to. Hello everyone and welcome to round 12 of the Pacific Tier 1 Championship here on Race Spec Esports. I'm Lane Everingham, your commentator for this event, and this time we're racing at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. Formerly known as the Österreich Ring, this circuit was constructed in 1969 and has been the permanent home for the Austrian Grand Prix for over 50 years. The famed original 5.9 kilometer layout was shortened and redesigned by Hermann Tilke in 1996 into the racetrack that we race on today. The modern circuit that measures up at 4.32 kilometers and consists of 10 corners is widely considered to be one of the better circuits for side-by-side racing on the calendar. This is primarily thanks to the 3 DRS zones that lead into the prime overtaking spots of Turn 1, Turn 3 and Turn 4. Outside of those areas, the drivers will have to deal with the tricky and sometimes nasty final sector. All 4 corners, Turn 7 through 10 through that final sector, have proved capable of tripping drivers up and will be accident hotspots during qualifying and the 2 races we'll be doing tonight, as this is the 3rd sprint round of the championship. Now, before we focus on qualifying, there is a bit of news to go through first from last week's race in France. There were 2 incident reports, surprisingly, ones that I wasn't really expecting. I saw a few incidents last week over at Circuit Paul Ricard. Some of them weren't reported, so a lot of drivers just having a mutual agreement, sort of saying, you know, that's part of the racing. We'll move on with it, but there were some reports, first of which involving Big Al and G-Force Leo, with Big Al cutting the Mistral chicane during qualifying. And as it turned out, even though he did cut the chicane, Big Al was requested by a friend to send an invite to get back into the lobby. So he kind of was forced to cut the chicane to allow himself to go into AI and give his friend an invite. So there was no further action from the stewards on that front. There was also an incident between Spicy and Bait, with the 2s coming together through turn 11. The verdict is Bait gets a 5-second time penalty and 1 penalty point for causing a collision. With the penalty applied, Bait would move from P8 to P10 in the final results. He was also set to race today, but had to pull out last minute. In the Drivers' Championship, it is Big Al who leads the way, followed by G-Force Ford in P2. Big Al on 229 points, followed by G-Force Ford on 183. So 46 points separating the top 2 in the championship. It's a fairly hefty sized gap, but we still got plenty of races to go through, so that gap can shrink. And we might have a proper championship fight between Al and Ford. Death Steel is still in mathematical contention. He's on 158 points, 25 behind Ford and 71 behind Big Al. Just an interesting note as well. He's got ECOS next to his name, and that COS stands for Contest of Speed. I work with that league, so that's a bit interesting to note that he has that next to his name. Seb is P4 in the standings. He's absent for today's race. He's on 145, followed by GeForce Leo on 134. Then we have Spicy on 127, followed by Plebs on 112. F1 Ferrari Pro on 107 points, followed by F1 Wogboy on 91, and Sire Luke rounds out the top 10 on 82 points. In the Constructors, Ferrari are leading the way. They're on 290, followed by Red Bull Racing on 279, so only 11 points separating the top two in the Teams Championship. 20 points behind Red Bull is Alfa Romeo on 259, followed by Alpine on 194, Haas on 178. Mercedes and McLaren are battling away. Mercedes on 159, followed by McLaren on 157. Then we have AlphaTauri on 134, Aston Martin on 120, and Williams at the bottom of the table on 46 points. But that's pretty much it in terms of news. We can now focus on this qualifying session. Overcast conditions, it seems, for this 18-minute session. Hopefully we don't get to see any sort of rain. Otherwise, the only action we're going to see is right here at the beginning of qualifying. Big Al out on track. He's getting ready to set a flying lap. Destiel's just set one at a 1 minute 4.652. Bags Liddell has invalidated that run. 2 corners left for GeForce Leo. Are you on a lap? No, you're surely not on a lap. Yeah, he's not pushing hard enough through the final 2 corners. I just caught the timer in the top right as well, so he's having another go. Tell you what, we might ride on board with him. Give you a tour of this 4.3 kilometre racetrack. Down to 4th gear, clipping the first apex, tidy on the exit. He'll open DRS and head up towards the left-hand kink of turn 2. Yes, this little kink here, this is turn 2. Up towards the hairpin of turn 3, down through the gears, down to 3rd, clipping the apex, getting back on the accelerator. Now down the back straightaway towards the right-hand hairpin of turn 4. He'll shift it into top gear. Speedo climbs over 320 kilometers an hour into the hairpin. He'll bring it down to 4th gear. Nice and steady on the exit, avoiding the outside curb, heading around turn 5 and into the left here of turn 6. This completes the middle sector. All shifting in between 5th and 6th gear, couldn't make up his mind. Around turn 7, very tricky corner. Around turn 8, hugging that inside curb all the way round. And into the final 2 corners on the racetrack, turns 9 and then finally turn 10. Important that you don't run too wide here, otherwise you get a warning and an invalidated lap. Leo does no such thing though. He does a 1 minute 4.670. Goes 4th quickest out of the time set. Al has bailed on this lap. Seems he's going to try and recover some battery. That's a neat little trick there that some people can learn. When you shift it into neutral and rev the guts out of the engine, you quickly recharge battery. Really neat thing to try and remember during a qualifying session, especially if your first lap wasn't particularly good. You decide to bail on it, what you do, you slow the car down, put it into neutral and rev the car a little bit. It'll recharge the battery in an instant. Down the main straightaway, crossing the line to begin the flying lap. Big Al through turn 1. Oh, missing the apex by a fair chunk there, and a huge slide past the apex too. Big Al had his hands full through turn 1, and the time reflects it, down by 0.3 of a second. Lot tidier out of turn 3. Hello OCW, nice to see you in the chat. You have a pole prediction for me? Current pole time is a 4.2. And at the moment, Bell is 3.5 tenths clear of the next car, which is Spicy in P2. No, not a lot of PlayStation drivers. We've got Bags, Ford, Wogboy, Leo, and Spicy. 4-1, you reckon? So you don't think Bell will improve by much? Interesting note. As Al will go back into the pits. Bails on that flying lap. TTV Sire Luke making his way into turn 1. I wonder if he's streaming right now. Probably is. DRS open as he heads up towards the first sector split. Very simple sector 1. Not expected to gain a lot of time, and as expected, Luke only gains about 6 thousandths to the first sector. He'll head up towards turn 4. 8th gear, entry speed 322 kilometers an hour. Very tidy through turn 4. Round turn 5, which is essentially a continuation of turn 4. Round turn 6, down the hill towards the middle sector split. Luke is up by 1/10 of a second. Wogboy's just behind. He's up by almost 3/10 to the middle sector. So Wogboy's looking to improve quite considerably. Out of the penultimate corner. Oh, poor run there from Luke. Out of turn 9. Ruining the flying lap. No such drama for Wogboy though. He'll head up towards the line and improve by 2/10 to a 1 minute 4.614. So he lost a teeny weeny bit of time in the final sector, but all in all, a positive lap as Panda has rejoined the session again. He's a reserve driver for this race in Austria. Into turn 1, goes G-force forward, the Niki Lauda curve. He'll head his way up the hill towards turn 2 in the more critical corner, the right-hand hairpin of turn 3. Clock says to the first sector a 16.1, apparently purple, according to the minimap. Nice and tidy out of the right-hand hairpin. He'll make his way down the back straight away and towards turn 4. Alright, what kind of top speed will we see here? 322 kilometers an hour, so pretty common peak speed heading into turn 4. Up towards the middle sector split, makes his way around turn 6. Short shifting up to 6th gear, using all of the curb, almost putting all 4 tyres over the white line. I think a bit wide there. He was wide. He's invalidated at turn 8. Dear oh dear. And he'll go back into the pits. Ryan Bell is down by 17 thousandths of a second to the first sector. A poor run, I think, there through turn 4. It was poor. He's backed out of it. As Pato has joined, he'll be joining me in the commentary box. So he'll be joining at least midway through qualifying. Now, Spicy's getting ready for a run. He's missing out on pole position by a shade over 3/10 of a second. He's a fair way off. Bell put together a really big banker right at the beginning of qualifying. Makes his way out to turn 1. DRS open, heading up towards the first sector split. What will the clock say to the first sector, I wonder? Of course, he's up by 69 thousandths of a second. What a surprise. Jinbin jumps up to the front row with a 1 minute 4.549. As Leo jumps to the top with a 1 minute 4.211. He's beaten Bell by 34 thousandths of a second. Al jumps up to P3 with a 4.475. Just beating Jinbin, who's been demoted to P4. Spicy, though, is up by almost 2/10 of a second, using all of the curve on the inside there at turn 8. He'll head over the crest and towards turns 9 and 10. Bring it down to 6th gear, back on the accelerator, down the hill and through turn 10, the final corner on the racetrack. Crossing the line, he improves, but he lost time. Just a little bit of time in the final sector. It's P3 though. He's beaten Big Al by 4 thousandths of a second. Belvo is up by 1/10.5 to the mid sector. He's on a mega lap right now. He's looking at a 4-0 if he puts this all together. Crosses the line. Oh, he lost a little bit. Just a little bit in the final sector. 1 minute 4.124. There's your pole prediction right there, ACW. Right on the button right now, but he's still got some time left in qualifying. So you never know, maybe Bell can find more time. Maybe another driver can find more time. What about Destiel? Oh, down by 6 thousandths to the first sector. You're not looking for an improvement in the first sector. You're just looking to match. Where you're going to find a lot of time is through the middle sector and through the final sector. Tidy round turn 4. Maybe missed the apex by a little bit. I couldn't quite tell from the camera angle. Around turn 6. Heading down the hill towards the middle sector split. Down again. So not the tidiest middle sector from Destiel. Will he back out of this lap? No, it looks like... No, he is. He is backing out of the lap. T-Mac has had a moment at the entry to turn 7. G-force forward here on a flying lap. Hello, Pato. Long time no see. If you're there. He's probably joining. I probably won't hear him for a bit, so I'll give him a bit. Don't know why, but it just takes a little while for me to connect to other people's voices at times, so... Just need Pato to join. and then we'll be able to speak. Around the final corner goes G-Force Ford up towards the line. It's going to be a 1 minute 4.715. That's P9 for G-Force Ford. Missing out on pole position by just a shade under 0.6 of a second. So he's got a lot of time to find. A lot of drivers in the garage as well. Luke will be going in the garage. He's low on battery. But he was up, but I think he made a mess of turn 3. Hello, Pato.
Hello. Hello, Lane.
Long time no see.
Yeah, good to be back.
No, we're racing here in Austria today, mate. What do you reckon we're going to see?
Yeah, I just joined the session actually, so I was watching some times, and we're going to have a sprint weekend as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, that's a big time from Ryan Bell then. 4.1 is a really quick one.
Ain't it what? That is ridiculously fast. I mean, ACW predicted a 4.1 for the pole time. But to say that Bell's still got more track evolution to come, I mean, what can he pull out? I think he can pull out a 4 flat. He did lose a little bit of time in the final sector, so I reckon he can do a 4 flat. I don't think we'll see a 3. That might be pushing it a bit too far, but who knows what these guys can do. But yeah,
we'll see.
These fellas are very, very quick right now. Like, the whole field, in terms of those who set times, it's just over 1 second. It's very similar to what we saw at Circuit Paul Ricard. It's just, yeah, a bit disappointing we don't have a full grid. Only have 13 for tonight's race.
You used to have a full grid last week, though, right?
Yes. Yeah, we have full grid. But for whatever reason... people unable to race here at Austria. I thought we'd get another full grid. If we got a full grid at Circuit Paul Ricard, surely we would get a full grid at Red Bull Ring, but guess not. Panda making his way through turn 1. Oh, big slide at the exit of the opening corner. Caught the slide well, but that would have lost him a ton of time, surely, as he heads up towards the first sector split. He has not lost time. He has actually gained time by 11 thousandths of a second. Poor run, though, out of turn 3. Again, the back end stepping out as he heads towards turn 4. He'll get on the brakes. 308 kilometers an hour. That's considerably slow. Did he use DRS there? He might not have used DRS. I've noticed he switched off the battery. I've just noticed that, so he's not on a proper push lap. This man, though, is about to try a proper push lap. Down the main straightaway, up towards turn 1. It's Ryan Bell, our current pole sitter, on his final, what could be his final lap, and he's already ruined it at turn 1. No pressure, Ryan. No pressure. But yeah.
Bestial is on a lap, though?
Yes, he is. Currently P7. He's up by a 10th to the first sector. That's a really healthy improvement, considering sector 1's pretty much one corner. So to find a 10th already, that's a really positive sign. Around turn 4. Missing the apex by a bit. Didn't quite get close enough to the inside curb there. As he heads around turn number 6. 5th gear back on the accelerator. Using plenty of curb. He's up by 2.5 tenths now to the middle sector. Keeps it just within the white lines through turn 8. 2 corners remaining for Destiel. Turns 9 and 10. 6th gear down the hill towards the final corner of turn 10. Very tidy there from Destiel. Up towards the line. It's a 4.252. He's found 4 tenths on that lap. Goes P3. Bell.
Yep. There's a lot of people actually who's doing a second out lap, like G-Force Ford, for example.
Okay. So drivers trying to get rid of some extra fuel for their final lap. Maybe try and get some better evolution, letting the clock tick on a little bit longer. It's a smart idea. Ryan Bell up to the first sector split is down by 18 thousandths of a second. G-Force Leo will begin his final flying lap attempt towards turn 1. Hard on the brakes, down to 4th. Very tidy through the opening corner. Spicy on a lap himself, making his way towards turn 4. Keep an eye on Bell, though, our current pole sitter. He'll head around the left-hander of turn 6, then down the hill towards the middle sector split. Clock says he's up by half a tenth, up by 56 thousandths as he heads through turn 8, up towards the final 2 corners on the racetrack. Al goes 4th fastest, a 4.4. That's the best he can do. What can Bell do though? 1 corner left. Gets it right. DRS open towards the line. It's oh my word, it's a 3. It's a 3.995. How about that? He broke into the 3s. What a mega lap. What can Leo do? Spicy's done. He's P5. What about Leo? Down the hill, through the final corner. Gets it to full throttle. DRS open towards the line. It's a 4.178. That is P2 for GeForce Leo. What about Ford? He's up by 2.5 tenths. He needs to improve massively here. DRS open towards the line. It's a 4.369. It's P5 for our defending drivers champion. But what a lap from Bell. A 3.9. A 3 in this qualifying session here at the Red Bull Ring. How about that?
My goodness me, what a lap. And I think we're done with qualifying because all the cars are in the pits and or retired.
That's it. Qualifying all done. Just be waiting on Luke and Panda to retire in their garage. And we can move through to the results screen. And oh man, that is quick. That is properly quick.
Wow.
There we go, it's Bell, who will start from pole position for this Austrian Grand Prix. It might not seem like much. He's gotten pole by a little under 0.2 of a second, but you got to remember, this track is only 4.3 kilometers long. It only has 10 corners. There's not a lot of areas to gain time. So the fact that he's gained 0.2 on the next fastest car, that is quite remarkable. But Leo in P2, he'd be happy with that, I'm sure. We got Destiel in P3, followed by Jinbin, Ford, Big Al, Spicy, GeForce Workboy, Luke, Panda, T-Mac, Bags. Plebs will start from the back. He was 1.1 seconds off pole, and I reckon he could have done a better lap time looking at what everyone else did. So I'm sure there's more performance to come from Plebs in the main in the sprint and in the main race. Oh man, I was expecting a flat. I thought a 3 might be a bit of a stretch, but Bell got into it. Got into a 3. Overcast conditions again, just like what we had in qualifying. I don't know if we're going to see any rain this race, Pato. But if we do, that'll shake things up quite a lot.
Well, for now the weather doesn't seem really clear, to be honest. We'll see.
We'll have
Seems
to
quite
wait.
cloudy.
It is very, very cloudy. So, I don't know. I don't know what kind of twists and turns the game is going to throw at us. But whatever it does throw at us, we're going to have an entertaining sprint, I reckon. Now,
I'll just take a minute to change my headset. I'll be right back.
All good, man. All good. Now, getting close to the start of the formation lap here at the Red Bull Ring. Everybody should be on mediums, I would think. Let's have a look. I see a lot of mediums. I do see a lot of mediums. Everyone's on mediums except for Plebs in P13. I guess why not? In his position, he's starting from the back. He can try and gain places on the soft tyre. But probably more critically for himself, he gives himself another set of mediums for the main race, just in case if he needs them. So, I can understand that call from Plebs.
Exactly. So first of all, can you hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear, okay. Well, I actually tried on Sunday, like before the Elite Series, to go for the softs in the sprint race. And they actually work. They reach, I think, 70% tire wear. I mean, you don't blow your tires up, which is first important news.
Yes.
And the only problem with the softs is that the rears get really, really twitchy in the last 2 laps. So Plebs will need a lot of skills to try and keep the car on the black stuff, which he has. And also, let's not forget that if there's a safety car in the sprint race, then it's much better to use 2 sets of softs rather than wasting a set of mediums and then using another one of softs. So yeah, it is a strategical move in the end, and maybe you can take advantage of this situation, maybe even in the main race after the sprint. We'll see.
Leaders are now lining up into their respective grid slots. Bell from pole position is starting on the racing line. It is the cleaner side of the racetrack. You can see there from Leo, he is angling his car towards Bell. He's aiming for a better start. He's going to try and cover Bell when the lights go out. Now all 13 cars are lined up ready to run. We've got 12 laps in front of us. 5 red lights. The sprint race is underway. It's a nice start from Bell. It's a nice start from Destiel as well, as he tries to look around the outside into turn 1. Through the Niki Lauda curve we go. 2 by 2 in the mid-pack. Leo, Destiel battling away. Al running wide at the exit of 1. Ford moves through into 5th. Now, Ford, he's got the nose in front. Al, can he try and fight around the long way? Jinbin certainly trying. 2 by 2. We exit turn 3. Light contact. Exiting the hairpin. As Ford slots in behind, Destiel under a little bit of pressure from Jinbin, who's looking around the outside heading into turn 4. But Destiel makes sure he covers the apex after he broke quite late. Oh, a bit of a wiggle there from Jinbin as well through turn 5, inviting an opportunity for Big Al to get by. But no, a very well controlled start from all 13 drivers. But what a mega start from Ryan Bell. He's got 1.2 seconds to Leo already.
Yeah, that is key actually, because as you know, we've got 3 DRS zones on this track. So afterwards it will be quite hard for him to break the DRS barrier. But if he does it now, it would be much better for the rest of the race.
I don't know, ECW, and I don't think you should try it. I know having an extra driver would probably be a good thing, but I'd rather not have that happen, because it could crash a lobby. You know the state of this game. Plebs down the inside of Wogboy. He moves through into 10th position. But, yeah, I think it's okay just to sit out ACW. It's fine. We should still get a pretty decent race with these guys. They're going at it hammer and tong already, as you'd expect in a sprint. We head around turn 6 and down the hill towards turn 7. Al now with a 1 second gap to Destiel. He needs to do himself a favour and get back within that second range. Otherwise, he's probably going to lose a little bit of touch to both Leo and Destiel.
Yeah. And Big Al is actually out of DRS for now. Yes, he is.
Yep. And we head through turn 1. Tidy from Al and Jinbin. There is GeForce Ford. Panda's making a move. He's gone by Luke. And here comes Ford. He's going to try and go by Jinbin as we head around turn 3. Contact a bit argy-bargy at the exit of turn 3, but Ford moves through. It's always a bit touch and go when you see something like that. Panda looks to the inside, heading through turn 4. Jinbin leaves room. They're going to be side by side through turn 5, heading towards turn 6. Panda looking around the outside. Jinbin covers the inside line well, forces Panda out into the dirt, and he keeps P6. Well, I guess Jinbin learnt a little bit from Ford there through turn 6. Just force your drive a little bit wide so you can keep the position. Smart driving. But I suppose as well, with Ford it was a bit more forceful.
Yeah, also because you're in a sprint round, so in the end you don't want to risk too much. You gotta take maneuvers, and if you see yourself getting squeezed, then it's much better to go wide rather than causing a collision or having a collision in general.
Al vulnerable to Ford. Ford to the inside. He moves through into P4. Oh, not the best of exits though, out of turn 3! Into the wall he goes! Oh, the car never settled at the exit of turn 3, and a safety car has been deployed.
Is it an SC or a BSC?
Yeah, it's you can see the yellow dot making its way out of the pits.
Yeah, it's an SC. Yeah.
All right.
Well, Ford now will go for the softs, 100%. It's not too bad after that mistake in the end. He will rejoin the group and have better tires, so not that much of harm done. Let's see if someone dives in, actually. No.
We have one, T-Mac. And Bags Liddell. That makes a lot of sense. Considering those two cars were the last cars in the train, you're not going to lose any track position coming in. So take the opportunity, pit onto softs, and send it.
Yep. 100%.
New front wing on the Ford Mobile. There we go, and away he leaves. Yeah, no.
The Ford Mobile.
You don't see that too often from Mr. Ford. He, just couldn't get his Ferrari settled out of turn 3 at all. The car just never gripped up, and it sent him right into the wall. So
he just made the same mistake I made on Sunday. Same corner, same exit.
Yep. Did he hit the same barrier? Al!
No, I hit the other side.
What has happened to Al? A 5-second penalty, severe collision between Jinbin and Big Al.
My goodness.
Jinbin's missing a wing. So he's absolutely hammered Al somehow. And he's got a 5-second time penalty. During a safety car period?
What happened there?
I know. I wouldn't expect any drama during a safety car period, especially in Tier 1, but we've got it. Jinbin and Al have come together, and Jinbin's destroyed his front wing. I'm not going to blame anybody until I see some footage of it. Yeah.
Well,
don't know.
At least he will have time to just get the 5-second penalty done in a safety car period. In the end, it's not too bad. Putting new softs on.
Yep. New front wing. And away he'll leave. And he'll join the back of the queue. So yeah, that was
weird.
That was weird. Very peculiar. I don't know how that could have happened, but it happened. So that's the positions now. Tell you what, Plebs might have done himself a massive favour if he pitted in for fresh softs.
Yeah.
Because he'd be in front of T-Mac. He'd be the first driver on soft tyres to try and attack those in front.
Yeah, I think it could have been a wise move as well. But in the end, like in the safety car periods, you have less tyre wear. So in the end, you'll gain anyway from this situation.
Absolutely. Spot on. So, Plebs is still in a pretty decent position. I reckon it could have been just a little bit better. But he'll be happy regardless in P7. He's going to put himself in a strong strategy position heading into the main race.
Yeah,
all right,
we're restarting.
We're going to end this lap. Bell's going to control this field. And I mean control. He is dawdling about. He had a solid 85 kilometers an hour, just above the peak speed limit. Getting ready. He's going. He's gone. Through turn 9, down the hill, and through turn 10. The final corner, back onto the main straightaway. He dumps his battery and says toodles to the rest of the field. He's got 6.5 tenths to GeForce Leo already. It's lap 7 of 12. We've got 6 laps to go. And I think Bell completely missed the apex of turn 1. So not the best of turn 1s from Bell, but a really good restart. Gee whiz Jimbin, gee whiz Ford. Both making mistakes out of turn 1.
Yeah, he actually overtook Bags, but then Bags got him back in the exit of turn 1.
Around turn 3. This is where Ford came undone. No such troubles this time around. Alright, so what's going to happen here in the mid-pack? We've got fresh shop tyres on T-Mac's car. How aggressive is he going to be? He's in the points right now. P9 top 10 score points in sprint races. T-Mac, his next target will be GeForce Wogboy. That Silvero's in P8. Nice camera angle there. Curb shot through turn 8. Not much he can do right now. Through turn 9, down the hill. Through turn 10. You can see the grip, him closing in through the corner.
So close.
And look at the straight line speed difference. Wogboy pulls away. Through turn 1.
Yeah, well, I think Wogboy has got much less battery than T-Mac, and T-Mac is using it right now. Was alongside.
T-Mac's on the attack, and he moves through into P8. Wogboy can't counter-attack. He stays in P9. Alright. Next target for T-Mac. Plebs, P7. Dumping a bit of battery in the slipstream. Plebs is doing the same. He half defends the inside line. T-Mac's going to send it around the outside. Can he get the traction down? Yes, he can. What an overtake around the outside at turn 4. Fantastic.
That's a difference 4 laps of softs make.
Yep, absolutely.
My goodness me.
All the grip in the world. That's what T-Mac had right there. Oh, hang on, Bags forward. Wogboy! Wow, that's close. As we go around the final corner. They're scrapping it out for one singular point. Ford moves through into 11th. Jinbin tries to follow. Down the inside at turn 1. It's tight. Jinbin runs wide. Bags trying to counter. Both have DRS. Both are drag racing up the hill. And it's the Aston Martin that has the longer legs. Into turn 3. Wogboy and Ford. Wogboy waves the white flag. He moves down to 12th. Overtaken by Bags Liddell in the process. Here comes Jinbin. He's got a whole heap of speed. He tries to look around the outside here at turn 4. Can't get it done. Bags covers well. And Wogboy is now down in 13th position. Oh dear. He's being absolutely bullied down the order. He's now down in last.
Yep. And I think Bags is now losing a lot of time to GeForce Ford, who's saving himself by being behind. I mean, 8 temps away from Big Ali. Will have DRS as well. T-Mac. T-Mac is really close to Spicy. They're alongside. He gets the position.
Nice. Jinbin moves through into 11th position. Ultimately not a point scoring position here in the sprint. But if there's an accident somewhere, anywhere, then it turns into a point scoring position. Down the inside, T-Mac, Big Al on Plebs, I should say. It's the other Alfa Romeo. Al, Plebs, drag racing, and it's the Alpha that wins thanks to its DRS advantage. T-Mac here, battling away with Spicy. Spicy moved back into P6, so this battle isn't done either. And we got one for P2 that I haven't even looked at between Leo and Destiel, as Ford moves by Plebs into P9.
Yeah, Destiel looks really, really close, and Leo might be a bit vulnerable in the next few laps because of the battery difference they've got. Yeah, we'll see.
What about Leo looks... Panda's alright right now. He's set for 4th. But yeah, I think you're right. Destiel, as soon as he turns on that battery, I don't think Leo will have anything in response.
We'll see though, because Leo gets much better exits.
Oh! So, retired in the pit lane. Interesting.
Okay.
Bags has had enough, I guess.
Down the inside. Wants to have a look.
Can't quite get it done yet. Plebs moves down into P11. Destiel, can he fight back down the inside here? Yellow's out. It's Ford again at turn 3. As Destiel overshoots turn 4, but gets... Oh, gee whiz, he almost hit Leo at the exit of turn 4. He lost control of the car, gathered it back up in an instant, but with that slight mistake, Leo moves back into 2nd. Now, 40 made some sort of mistake at turn 3 again. He's back down in 12th. So... Oh!
What's going on?
Don't know. I think maybe a screen freeze. Destiel's into 2nd place. It's what Gers did in the Elite Series. He's Houdini'd himself into 2nd. And here comes Panda down the inside of Leo, the reserve driver. Oh, and he pushed his teammate off at turn 1. Oh my word. I wouldn't be surprised if that was an incident report, if I'm totally honest. Panda down the inside of turn 1, forcing his teammate wide. Ultimately could have caused an accident. Fortunately, it didn't. But Destiel, I think he's been gifted second now. No way Panda or Leo can challenge that P2.
Yeah, and maybe that screen freeze, with that screen freeze, both Destiel and Leo had no DRS. The only one who had it was Panda. Yeah. And that's why he got the position.
Gee whiz. 40 retiring out of the race as well. He's done for this sprint. This man has put together quite the terrific drive. 2 corners left for Ryan Bell. He will return to victory lane. He will win the sprint race here at the Red Bull Ring. Destiel will come home in second. Panda provisionally third. I would not be surprised if there was some sort of rapport between Panda and Leo there at turn 1. T-Mac will finish down in 10th. Did he get a penalty or something?
I think he got a penalty in the last corner, otherwise I don't know for what reason. Maybe he made a mistake, don't know. We'll see in the results.
Panda given driver of the day. That's thanks to him moving from P10 to P3. T-Mac 3-second time penalty.
Yeah.
Wogboy got the same, so both drivers getting a penalty on the last lap, ultimately costing them, well, especially T-Mac, valuable points. He'll finish in 10th. So, in the final results, we have, or the unofficial final results, Ryan Bell is your race winner. Destiel second, followed by Panda, Leo, Luke, Spicy, Big Al, Jinbin, Plebs, T-Mac, Wogboy, Ford, classified, but he retired in pit lane. Bags Liddell, DNF. He retired a little while before GeForce Ford did. Man, there was some action in that race. Goodness me. And we still have the main race. Done 12 laps now. We've got to be set for 36 laps at the Red Bull Ring. And it's still overcast. There's still clouds around the racetrack. We might have wet weather. I have no clue. Yeah, KD, with your comment, I reckon that's what Leo's thinking right now. Knowing that the guy who did that is your teammate, or substitute teammate, and a reserve driver, yeah, Leo probably won't be too happy about that. So we'll see what happens post-race. Still got a lot of deliberation to go through. In fact, we got 36 laps of it. So, plus one formation lap we got to get through too. Now, we don't know what the conditions are going to be like later, Pato, but what would you start on if it was an all-dry race?
I think I would start on hards, but I got a message from Destiel saying it's going to rain towards the end of the race. Let's see how far away, though, because it can happen pretty quick, as we saw on Sunday.
Yeah.
The track might get really wet in 1 or 2 laps' time. But I think everyone will go on the hards if it's going to rain in the end. Oh, no. Not everyone.
Not quite everyone. It's pretty close, but it's not quite everyone. We have Ryan Bell, who will start from pole position for the main race here at the Red Bull Ring. He's starting on the medium compound tyre. Destiel, who starts alongside him, is on the hard tyre. Panda doing the same in P3, and so is Leo in P4. Luke in P5 is starting on the mediums. Spicy in P6 is starting on the hard, so is Big Al, our championship leader, down in 7th. Jinbin P8 is starting on the mediums. Plebs, T-Mac, and Wogboy, that form positions 9, 10, and 11, are all starting on the hard tyre. GeForce Ford is starting on the mediums. He is the last car to start on the mediums. And Bags Liddell in 13th position, starting on the hard. So we have 9 cars starting on the hards and 4 on the mediums. So a little mix, but definitely a majority towards the hard compound tyre. And depending on when the rain comes, I wonder if a lot of those hard runners are just thinking, keep running on the hard tyre until the rain comes.
Yeah, it surely will. But if it starts raining on lap 30, 31, maybe a double medium is also a good way. And I actually don't understand why Plebs is starting on the hards, because he saved a set of mediums. So yeah, maybe he knows more things than I do. Maybe it's gonna start raining sooner than I think. So we'll see.
Leo's missed his grid slot, so he's been pushed back a little bit. Now, Destiel's doing the same thing that Leo did earlier, and I thought it was Leo trying to get a better start on Bell and try and cover into turn 1. What he's actually doing is covering P3, which is Panda. We're all set and ready to run. We have 5 red lights. The main race is underway here at the Red Bull Ring. It's a nice start from Destiel. He will cover Panda. He will keep P2. Panda under pressure, heading into turn 1. Heading up the hill now. It's Luke who's in P3. Panda's forced wide. Big Al 3 wide between the 2 Red Bulls and Al, who was in the middle. Al moves through into P4. Battling into 3. Oh, gee whiz. And Williams trying to force it down the inside. Spicy runs wide. Ford moves up. Jinbin moves up. Wildboy moves up. And down the positions is Spicy Salami down to P10.
I saw Leo complaining a lot by moving the steering wheel. Oh, Jinbin.
Yes, plenty of contact going on back here. These guys are really giving it some as they head around turn 6. Plebs in P10, side by side with Spicy. Contact with T-Mac as they go around turn 7. Into turn 8. Side by side, Spicy, T-Mac. Jinbin gets by Leo. Bags is right on the back of this battle. But the best starter, I do believe, is GeForce Ford, up 6 positions from the start. But equally terrific, our race leader Ryan Bell, who's got 1.4 seconds already to Destiel. 1.5 now. That is a mega start on those medium tyres.
It actually is. And yeah, as we saw on many races on this game, like if you start on pole, or at least in the front row, starting on mediums is not a bad idea at all. Because as you see, of course Ryan is going to have a big advantage in the first 6-7 laps, even more I think. And it's going to be pretty hard for the hard runners to catch him afterwards. I think more or less the gap Ryan needs to extend is going to be 3.54 seconds, like when he pits. He needs to be 4 seconds away when he pits. And I think it's going to be fine for him, unless there's a safety car or some other things going on.
My goodness, it's tied towards the back of the field. Leo, Spicy. Leo is plummeting down the order. He's down 7 positions already, so it is not looking good. It's not looking good at all as we head into turn 1. Spicy, not a great start either. He was forced wide. Yeah, down the inside he'll go through turn 3 on the medium compound tyre. Contact at the apex. Hello, Big Al. He made a little bit of contact with Destiel at the apex of turn 3 as well. So got a tightly fought train here. We got Cy Luke at the front of it. Destiel and Big Al in the middle of it. At the back of it is Panda Ford. He's close, but he's got Jinbin for company, side by side, through turn 5. Jinbin's going to try and look around the long way here at turn 6. He's forcing the issue as we head down the hill into turn 7. He's still trying to force the issue, but eventually gives in. Ford keeps P6. Some fine defending down the inside at turn 7. Jinbin just didn't have the grip to try and challenge 40 round the outside. Bell setting fastest laps here, 7.2 from the current race leader. He's got 2.8 seconds already over Luke, and that gap is going to continue to extend, at least for the time being. Now heading up the hill towards turn number 3. Al close, very close. He's made a little bit of contact with Destiel. That's how close he was. Just a little bit of contact, nothing too dangerous. Just some Morse code between Al and Destiel there. Through turn 4. Now, a bit of a wiggle there from Destiel. I'll be curious to see what these guys on the hard tyre are thinking right now. Have they got a more conservative mindset You know, try and preserve the tyre a little bit. Try and not destroy the car early in the race. Or will they try and go harder, particularly Luke, who's now at the front of the train on the mediums, no less?
Yeah, I think the medium runners will need to pit at some point. And they need to calculate very well when the rain is going to hit, because otherwise they're going to lose a lot of time. And for now, we've got basically two big trains, and Ryan Bell and Leo basically isolated from all these trains. I don't know what's going on with Leo, to be honest. He doesn't seem to have damage on his wing, so kind of weird.
Don't know. I don't know what's on with Leo right now. He might have damage that we can't see.
Maybe on the floor.
Yeah. I do. He was on the ground. Oh, gee whiz! T-Mac and Bags coming together at turn 4. That almost resulted in an accident. I mean, I did see Leo off the track at the exit of turn 1 on the opening lap. I'm not sure if he got shunted into. I don't know. Yeah, he might have got floor damage. Can't really tell though. So difficult to tell.
Yeah, we didn't see major crashes though, so kind of unlikely to get floor damage by just going on a sausage curb and stuff, unless it's simulation damage, but it's not in this case.
I think Death Steel might try and attack here. He sees Luke low on battery, has a look, dives it in. Through turn 3, a very, very tidy, clean overtake.
And Death Steel is going to have DRS, which will probably go as well. No, it's too far away. No,
He is a bit too far away, isn't he? Yeah. If that was a bit closer, I reckon he would have went for it at turn 4. Try and follow Death Steel, because now Death Steel will try and break away from the train here. Try and have his own little race. That way he can try and compete with Bell. I think if he had Big Al on the back of him, as well as a few other cars, that might distract him just a little bit. He might lose time because of that. So if he can break away, get himself into his own little bubble, where he can push as hard as he needs to, he's going to be a contender for the race win.
Yeah, it will be quite hard for him to just run away from the train, but I think Luke needs to make a mistake if Death Steel wants to be out of his DRS. We'll see though, because 3.6 seconds is just the margin Ryan Bell needs now, and it's going to be touch and go if the gap stays the same.
It's going to be an interesting duel, I reckon, to see who's got the strategy right for this Grand Prix, especially with the weather. Out to the inside! Oh, it's tight through turn 4. They get through. Al takes third.
Nicely done, nicely done. Just some wheel banging, but in the end, nice and clean.
Yeah, he didn't force Luke off the racetrack. He didn't spin him round, didn't give him damage, from what I can tell anyway. It was a bump. But he,
yeah, they just touched wheels. They banged wheels, but it's fair.
Yeah. 9/10 of a second is the gap between Death Steel and Al. Al needs to put the hammer down a little bit to try and catch up to Death Steel. Problem is, Death Steel had a fair chunk of battery. He was up in the 90s for a while. He's now dumping it. He is trying to drive away from Big Al. And look at the gap. It is working. This is what he needs. Needs to break away and put himself into his own little world. And this is going to help even more. Panda, Luke, side by side through turn 3. Leo's retired in the pit lane. Oh.
Okay.
He's done, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with Leo's car, but whatever it was obviously not recoverable, so there we go. Leo's done for the day. He will score 0. Red Bull will score 0. They might have a second car here in the form of Panda. Reserves do not score constructors points. So Red Bull will score nada. Ferrari still have a car.
I just got told that Leo had some kind of damage on his car. So, yeah.
Must have been floor or rear wing or something.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't see it on the front. Front wing looked fine. Yellows, it's Jinbin at turn 1. That might have been a reset track, I'm not certain. Panda, Al through turn 3. And now G-Force Ford's on the back of this on the medium compound tyre. I wonder what he'll do. Will he go for position? Oh my word, he's overshot it big time at turn 4. A huge lapse in judgment from Ford.
Yeah, an over-ambitious one.
Completely lost the braking point into turn 4. He did a terrific job on avoiding Al. Panda saw him coming, I do believe. He opened up the steering. Panda opened up the steering at turn 4. He saw him coming. So I think everyone involved did the best they could to avoid a massive shunt. But 40, gee whiz, that is an elementary mistake from a very quick driver.
Yeah, I think he got scared a bit by the Red Bull in front, because I think if the Red Bull wasn't there, maybe he could have put out the move done. But seeing the Red Bull, of course, you want to avoid the collision, and yeah, maybe he just got scared a bit by that blue car in front of him. But yeah, he completely missed the braking point. I mean, sometimes you want to brake later than your opponent, but on the other hand, you know,
if you overdo it, you put yourself in a very tricky situation.
Exactly.
40 dealt with it well. That's a much more conventional overtake at turn 4, conducted by 40 there.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't seem to have lost a lot of time, actually, though. It's just 1.7 behind Luke, so yeah.
Yes.
Could have been much worse. It
could be damaged. He could be out of the race. He could have taken someone out and be at the forefront of a massive penalty. It could have been a lot of things. So, yeah, I think being 1.7 seconds off the lead is probably the last thing on his mind right now. So, and he's actually closing in. The gap's shrinking. So he's got the hammer down. He's trying to recover lost time. It's going to be tricky though. He does not have any DRS to help him out. So see what he can do.
Yeah. Still pretty sunny, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's actually sunnier than what it was at the beginning of the race. You can see there's plenty of blue sky around. So
it's true.
If we are going to have rain, it is probably going to be fairly late. And if that is the case, that brings up your point back on the formation lap. If it comes at like 30 or something, then those who are trying to go from the hards to intermediate conditions are going to be put in a very sticky situation. That doesn't help, Bailey. A 3-second time penalty does not help your cause of trying to catch up. So, yeah, that's something that's going to hamper him somewhat. Towards the end of the race, especially if the field remains this competitive. So
yeah,
there goes.
Yeah,
Ford.
We'll see, because I'm not even sure that the hards can actually last 30+ laps. I mean, they can last, but they're going to be massively slow, especially on traction zones.
Absolutely,
because this is a track where the rears really get hot quite easily.
You can imagine as well what 30-lap-old tyres are in greasy conditions when it starts to rain.
Yeah.
Yellows, it's Ford. Ford is having an absolute mare tonight.
Nightmare of a race, yeah. Yeah.
He is now down in 12th, a.k.a. plumb last. So I think Fordy just needs to try and survive now. Just score points, finish the race, turn the game off, be done with it. Because, yeah, he's not having a good one tonight.
Yeah. But, you know, never give up. You never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
So
keep going. You keep soldiering on.
Keep it on the black stuff. Yep.
Now that gap between the top two has evened out. It's been sitting at about 3.84 seconds. So
yeah,
Bell's pace on the mediums has mellowed out. He's about even with Destiel.
Exactly, but in the last few races, he's given up.
Yes, he will soldier on like a good boy. Never mind. He quit.
What did I say? The gap between Bell and Destiel was actually 4.1 seconds, so Destiel is starting to gain at this point. And we'll see what Ryan will do. Will he go on the hards? Will he go on the mediums, gambling on the rain? Well, he doesn't have any set of mediums, so he's gonna go for the hards. Okay.
He has to, yeah.
No, never mind. Never mind.
No, that's an extremely fair point. Yeah. You're only allowed a maximum of 2 sets of mediums, regardless of tyre allocations. So
yeah,
you can only get an extra set of hards or an extra set of softs.
Exactly, and this set of softs maybe can help, because if it starts raining really late, as we said, you're gonna get a big undercut if you pit like on lap 22, 23 and put some new softs on. You're gonna be much faster than everyone. Basically 3 seconds, I think even 3 seconds faster than everyone else on all the tires.
You are relying a lot on the weather though, coming at the right time. If the weather comes late and you're on old softs, you might put yourself in a worse position than what you were before.
True.
See, that's the thing with weather. It's always a gamble. It's almost always a gamble.
Yeah. I'm a man who likes gambling. That's why, especially in this kind of weather. Like, I really like to, try and make something no one does and see what happens.
Make those big plays. Try and make those big gains.
Yeah, it's gonna pay off at some point.
At some point, just a lot of failure in between.
Yeah, exactly.
Trial and error, mate. That's how it works. You win some, you lose a lot more. That's how it works.
You're gonna hit the jackpot at some point.
That's right. That is absolutely right. And as it proved over in Elite, the track changes quick. So if it does start raining, I wouldn't be surprised if drivers jump in straight away based off what we saw in Elite. And then again, maybe the game will say, oh no, I'll just take my time on this occasion. You never know. Panda attacking Al, he moves through into third. Al really can't counterattack, so yeah.
And Spicy has actually caught Walkboy, who was 2 seconds away some laps ago. And he's creating a big train, Walkboy, right now, with basically everyone. Oh, Bex has made a big mistake, actually. He's lost 6 stamps.
Yes, he has. 5. So Bags on those tyres, he should be doing alright. They should be in fairly decent nick. But yeah, he's just made a few little errors and he's now 1.8 behind Jinbin in P10. And he's low on battery. I saw briefly there a flash of red at the back of the car, so he is low on battery.
Yeah. And we actually reached the big window for the medium runners because it's lap 16. We'll see who's going to be the first one to dive in, and Spicy gets the move done.
Well, he dives in first of all, down the inside of Wogboy, and moves himself into P6. Wogboy down to 7th, and he's going to be a tad bit vulnerable. No, he's not. Wogboy is actually counter-attacking down the inside at turn 4. I wasn't expecting this. What a nice move. He had no DRS, that was just battery, and he got back by.
Yeah. I think he had DRS though.
Did he?
Because because I think Spicy miscalculated the detection point. I think a lot of people know about that turn and that DRS detection point with Verstappen in 2019. He showed everyone what to do when they want to pull out the move in turn 3.
That's it. Hard tyres being bolted on Luke's car and Bell's, so yep. No extra set of mediums for Bell to play with. He is on the hard tyre in front of Bags Liddell. Bags has tyres that are up to temperature, so he might be able to attack Bell. I don't know what he'll do. Oh, hello, Wogboy Spicy battling again.
Yeah, they almost touched by 1 millimeter. Basically, they didn't touch. And Plants is taking advantage of all of it.
Yep, round the outside of Spicy. Tidy move there. He moves himself into P5. His next target will be GeForce Wogboy in 4th position. Now Bell, he is under a little bit of pressure from Bags, but His tyres are steadily coming up to temperature. The pace is coming back. And he's still got half a second in hand to bag. So I think he should be able to keep P9. Shouldn't get too much resistance, I would think, from Bags Liddell. As Jim in pits in. Going to move off the mediums and onto a set of hards. There goes Bell, our race leader. Bags Liddell in tow. Alright, players, what you gonna do? Battery deployed, DRS open, up the hill towards turn 3. Doesn't quite get the move done yet. Yep. Smart
he
stuff.
Wants to have DRS now.
But Wogboy got a terrific exit, look at that!
Yeah, amazing exit.
Oh, Spicy!
Yeah, look at Spicy.
Round the outside, at turn 4. What's close? Oh, and around the outside. Terrific stuff there from Spicy. Awesome. Back into P5. Good overtaking.
Yeah, really good. And overtaking is smiling, watching all these battles behind him. Because, of course, he doesn't want to get involved into this.
Yeah, Bell here. He's closing in pretty quick. This is the problem with starting on the softer tyre straight away. You come across this.
Yeah.
Guys, that you have to fight for position, but they're on old tyres.
Yeah. And they're all fighting for position as well.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Oh, T-Mac is wide there at turn 1. That would have cost him time. Might stay with Mr. Bell here. This might be quite the entertaining show of what we're going to see with this pack and with Bell. Out of turn 3.
And this situation is going to go into Destiol's hands, because of course he doesn't have the tyres that Ryan has got, but Ryan is in traffic. He's going to lose time anyway.
He almost hit T-Mac at turn 4, got very close. T-Mac is on the attack again, around the outside. At turn 6, can't get it done. Oh, around turn 7. Look how close he is! Ooh.
Yeah, Bell is going to go for the move now.
Plebs is pitting, Plebs is pitting. He's made that clear. Understeer City. Destiel's in. Destiel is in pit lane. He's in pit lane. Alright, so it's not as much of a time loss as I suspected. What's the gap going to be? One wonders. What is the gap going to be?
I think I would have stayed out a little bit more if I was Destiel, to be honest. Because I would have taken advantage 100% of the situation. But yeah, let's see. How far is he? 4.3 seconds, okay.
Behind T-Mac, so if you add on the gap, it's about 4.8.
Yep.
So the gap has increased, as you'd expect, on fresh rubber. Could have been a lot better though if it weren't for traffic. Bell round the outside of Spicy Salami at turn 6. Can he get it done? Around the outside again, this time at 7. Gets the car in front and moves through into 4.
Ballsy one.
These guys are committed with the outside line. Gee whiz. Oh, that's late from Spicy. That was seriously late. I think he's okay though with the pit lines.
Yeah, he didn't cross the line. Yeah, he didn't.
Gee whiz though. That was a fully committed move round the outside on the marbles. And he made it stick. Good stuff. I love that kind of stuff. Now Luke...
Yeah, but look at that, because I think Desiel has actually gained 8 tenths on this lap. Because he's 4 seconds away from Ryan, more or less, 4.2.
Yeah.
So... And I think he won't be in time to reach T-Mac and Wogboy. They're gonna pit earlier than... I mean, he's... Oh, Wogboy! My goodness, he was sideways. To turn 4.
Now, Wogboy is running a bit negative in terms of fuel. He's running 0.4 under. Everyone else running over, from what I can tell. So, that might be something Wogboy will have to be careful of. He's going to move into the pits. It's always a bit nerve-wracking when you see that.
Yeah, it is.
There's Destiel. bit difficult to see because of all the exhaust fumes, but he is there. And he is closing in at a rate of knots.
He's gaining like crazy. He's gaining like crazy. 3.2 behind now. He needs to overtake T-Mac on the next lap. He will have DRS as well, so he'll have a big advantage too.
Speaking of DRS, down the inside goes Panda on Luke. This is at turn 3. Clean, sensible overtake. Actually very similar to what we saw with Destiel and Luke at that same corner. So Luke being a very helpful driver at turn 3, just leaving enough room for his rival, but also giving himself a pretty tidy exit. And now he's got Al hunting him in P6.
Is Destiel gonna go now? Don't think so. Is T-Mac gonna dive into pits?
No.
I think T-Mac is gambling on the rain.
I think
otherwise he would have reacted. He would have reacted instantly.
Well, here he goes. Not much T-Mac can do about this. And watch Destiel pull away here through turn 1.
2.5. Well, now the race is on.
The race is very much on. Bell v Destiel. It's a PC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is.
Precision guy's getting smoked.
Oh, Al! Poor run through turn 3. Runs wide. Drops back down to P6. Couldn't make the move on Luke. Interesting. Wogboy on the back of Plebs. Closing, 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 closing some more. More closing. No attacking. So, wasn't quite close enough to attack. Wogboy, he's putting himself in a better position in terms of fuel. He's slowly chipping away at that fuel number. And when the rain comes, he'll obviously be in a much better position. But I must say, Pato, if you're right on board and look around the racetrack, it's blue sky everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is.
When will it come? When will the rain come?
And now Destiel is 1.9 behind. So, yeah, it's pretty close to get the DRS.
Up the hill towards turn 3. Out to the inside. Dives it in. Another tidy. Never mind. There was contact between the two. Oh, gee whiz. That was very, very close there at turn 3. Just a little bit of contact, a little bit of Morse code.
Bargy.
Hello, Lost. Nice to see you in the chat. Let's see. Oh, spinning! Plebs is around! Contact with Spicy! He's out of the race! Do we have a safety car? We do!
Yes, we have.
Oh, and Bell's missed pit lane. Destiel's in.
And T-Mac dives.
Yeah, he has to go. Has to go to pit lane. That's what he was hoping for. Oh, what does everyone else do?
Are they gonna put softs? Why is Destiel in? It doesn't have any mediums left. It just has got
Spicy salami, a drive-through penalty for speeding during the safety car period. It's softs for Destiel. He's going all out in this final stint.
Well, fair enough. In the end, it's just 11 laps. Remember, the sprint was 12 laps. So, yeah.
But he's now down in fifth. He's got track position to make up. He got some pretty quick customers to pass.
And is this safety car actually favoring the rain coming? Because of course in the safety car you go slower and the race, you know, ends later than should. Yep. It's not by much, it's going to be 1 or 2 minutes, but still.
And to answer your question, Kebab, that's a big fat negative. You are not allowed to cross the pit entry white line. If you're making your way into the pits, you must follow the white... Oh, you must be on the correct side of the white line. You cannot cross it. If you are picked up on that and somebody reports it, that's a pen.
Yeah.
So...
You actually must pull to the right beforehand because you need, I mean, all the drivers need to know you want to pit. What does Ryan do? He stays out.
Somebody took the racing line in. Interesting. Well, if anybody picks up on it and there is a report, there's a penalty coming, because, yeah, you're not allowed to do that. I did that a long time ago. During a race at Singapore, I got pinged for crossing the white line at pit entry at Singapore. I got a time penalty and demoted me from P2 to either P3 or 4 in that race. I wasn't too bothered about it. I was pretty happy with the race overall, but yeah, it's a small thing, but a very important thing to keep an eye out for. You got to obey the white line rules in regards to the pit entry.
Yeah. I'm just watching Plebs' onboard and see what happened there. Because it was quite weird. He was sideways out of turn 4. I think there was a collision with Walkboy, otherwise I cannot understand what happened. Let's just see. Ah, he got tapped from behind from Walkboy, and then basically Spicy collected him. Nothing Spicy could do about it, to be honest.
Hey, screen freeze. Big Al and Luke, they phased into one another. It did not look good. Thank goodness that didn't result in anything. Now, I'm not sure, but before the safety car period, Al was behind Luke or in front? Because I saw these two have changed places during that last lap, but I can't remember who was in front initially.
I think Al was behind because he went wide and Luke took advantage.
Yes.
But then I don't remember if Big Al got him back, so...
Yeah, it looked like coming through turn 8, the two changed places. Big Al got in front, and then he backed off and let Luke back in front. But obviously, because this game is so stupid and broken, it gave Luke the prompt to let Al back through.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have got a 5 second. So I think he's just given up a place to Al. I think. I'd have to recheck the stream. Could be completely wrong.
Yeah, it could be. But, yeah. I'm just gonna send you a clip of this game later after the race, because I just watched on a friend of mine the weather changing from wet to dry in a second. Basically from cloudy skies and rain on inters to sunny and dry track. Like basically in a second.
In a second? Really?
In a frame. Not in a second. In a single frame.
In a single frame. In a nanosecond is what you're saying.
Yep.
In a millisecond.
Yep. Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. So that will be an interesting clip to look at.
Me neither.
That I've never heard of weather changing like that. I have seen rain come down and like in 30 seconds or even less, like 15 seconds, it changes to intermediate conditions like that. But I can sort of wrap that around my head because, especially in a place like here in Australia, when it starts raining sometimes, it starts raining really, really, really hard.
Tropical thunderstorms now.
Yeah, it when it rains, it pours sometimes here in Australia.
Yeah.
Great example of that is a race that happened in the V8 Supercars. I think it was 2010 in Sydney, and it literally took one sector. It was dry, one sector later, full wet, and everyone was crashing. Yeah, Wallboy rear-ended me. I doing ghosts, and yeah, Spicy hit you. Yeah, I saw the end of that. But yeah, there you go. That's seriously unfortunate. Yeah, the game is astonishing. Grade A, you know, A+.
We all know that. We all know that.
It is a feature, yeah. The not working ghosting feature. You know, it adds realism. That's what they say, and you know, it makes for a more accurate experience. You know.
Yeah.
Because the ghosting system is designed by Ferrari.
I feel bad saying this, but it's true. As a Ferrari fan.
Bell controls the field. He'll take off and restart this race. Very similar to the last restart he did over in the sprint. Down the hill through the final corner, back onto the main straightaway. He'll begin lap 29 of 36. And Panda, he's right on him. And he's not going to let go. T-Mac gets by Jinbin, moves through into P6. Right on board a bit with Mr. T-Mac here.
side by side with Luke already.
Yeah, he's going to try and make the move stick here, and I think he will. He'll have the grip, he'll have the speed. Down the inside at turn 3. Yeah, through he goes. Tidy move.
Easy.
Ooh, that's close. There was contact, an itty-bitty little bit of contact. And here comes T-Mac drawing alongside Luke, dumping the battery as they head towards turn number 4. Dives it in. Ooh, it's tight, it's tight, it's tight. They get through. T-Mac is into 5th place. What's with people passing around the outside of turn 4? Everyone's doing it. It's amazing. I love it.
In real F1, you get squeezed wide.
That's right.
100% of the times.
These guys are making it stick, though. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I like it. Now,
Yeah,
Spicy will be pitting. He has to serve a drive-through for speeding. Now,
it's going to be cloudy right away.
Yes, there are clouds about. So,
Too late.
7 laps to go. Will we see some intermediate conditions? We're going to see some passing. Destiel's on the attack. Bags, Jimbin's down the order. He moves down to 9th. Down the inside at 3. Pulls it up. Al has traction on the outside. He keeps 3rd. Now, Plebs has just informed me, rain was forecast after the race. So we might not see rain. If we do, it's going to be late. Like that move down the inside from Destiel. Tried to make it work at turn 4, through turn 5, up towards turn 6. He looks around the outside. Now, Al, has he got the grip? He does. He keeps the position. He keeps P3. If we head out of turn 7, round turn 8, climbing up the hill, over the crest, towards turns 9 and 10. T-Mac is right on the back of this now. He is properly on the back of this in P5. We head through turn 10, back onto the main straightaway. DRS is now enabled. We've got 5 laps to go. It's a 5-lap sprint here at the Red Bull Ring. That will decide it all. DRS open, heading towards turn number 3. Destiel, close, looking left and right. Al covers the inside. Destiel looking the long way. He's boxed in, though, by Panda. It's tight, but Destiel's got traction, he's got speed, he's got a bit of battery to play with too. So does Big Al as they head towards turn 4. Contact, heading into the corner. Destiel fires it round the long way. He's got the grip. It's tight, there's contact, but Destiel moves through into 3rd position. Again, around the outside at turn 4. Terrific stuff. Now through turn 7. Through turn 8, Bell's hanging on to the lead, which is quite good considering he's on the hard tyre. He's not on the grippiest tyre, but he's got pace right now. That's the most important thing. He's got pace, and he's making full use of it as he opens DRS up towards turn 1. Panda close, but not close enough to attack in the opening corner. But he's got 56% battery. Bell's got 80. Holy mother!
Yeah, he is. That's what I was about to say. He's in full control. He's in full control now.
On the hards! That is properly good stuff. Huh. Alright, game on. DRS versus battery. Hards versus mediums versus softs. It's all to play for here at the Red Bull Ring, and Bell's hanging on. Can Destiel do anything on those softs? They may be indicated as 7 laps old, but a fair few of those laps were done behind the safety car. So they're a bit younger than what the laps suggest. And let's not forget, if there's any sort of accident, then these guys, towards the back of the train, they have a shot of making up a fair few places. Out of the penultimate corner and around the final turn. Back onto the main straightaway. It's now lap 33. We've got 4 laps to go here at the Red Bull Ring, and it's getting darker. The clouds are back.
Oh, that's still big moment for the Haas driver.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Panda, close. Not close enough. He stays behind Bell for now. Maybe he's got a few games to play himself. He's got battery. Probably more importantly, he's got DRS. So he's got a whole heap of straight line speed compared to Bell. But Bell's got all the battery. Oh, this is going to be interesting to see how these two duel it out. for first.
Destil's tires are gone, by the way. The rears are starting to lose grip. A lot of grip, actually.
Oh, that twitch. That was a twitch through turn 7.
Yeah, 3 of them. You had 3 of them in one lap.
You could see the graining on the tyres as well. You could see the grooves being made in those rear tyres. They are properly worn out. He has pushed them to their limit and beyond, and they're now starting to give in. 3 laps to go here in Austria. 3/10 is the gap between the top 2. Panda using a bit of battery. In the slipstream, he closes the gap. T-Mac gets by his teammate. T-Mac moves through into 4th place. He's looking at a pretty decent result. Maybe a podium. Who knows? Panda close. Panda really close. Panda to the inside. Can Panda make the move stick? The answer is no. Bell has the traction on the outside to hang on to the race lead. Through turn 6. They'll cascade down the hill towards turn 7. Bring it down to 5th gear. Exiting through turn 8. Climbing back up through the gears. Climbing up and over the crest. Heading towards turn 9. 3/10, still the gap between the top 2. Neither driver giving an inch as they go through the final corner. Back on the main straight. 2 laps to go at the Red Bull Ring. Destil, has he got something left? Have those tyres got anything left? As, oh my word, Bags goes straight on. He goes straight on at turn 1. Couldn't pull the car up. And Panda moves into the lead. Spicy 3-second time penalty. But Bell, what's Bell going to do? Will he counter straight away? Panda doesn't have a lot of battery to play with. You can tell from the flashing red light. Bell closes the gap up. Not by enough. He doesn't want to attack yet. He's playing a little game here. Waiting for the right moment to try and strike back at Panda. Panda needs to be aware of this. I'm sure he's aware of it. He needs to counter in the right place so he can hang on to this race lead. Around turn 8, Wogboy closing in on Jinbin as well. We've got a battle on for P7 as we head through turn 9 again. Down the hill towards turn 10. Or Destil, a bit of a mistake as T-Mac closes in. A battle for 3rd is brewing. A battle for the race lead is brewing. It's the final lap here at the Red Bull Ring. Lap 36 of 36 of this Austrian Grand Prix. DRS open on Bell's car. He's got all the battery to play with as he heads up the hill towards turn 3. Will he make the move here? He's looking around the outside. Doesn't overtake him just yet. Around turn 3, Bell can't do it just yet, but he'll get DRS again. He's got battery to play with. Panda covers the inside. The Bell's got the overspeed. Panda can't do anything except dive it. Down the inside at 4. He's got the nose in front. Bell, though, he's keeping the fight alive as they head towards turn 6 for the final time. Bell covers. He covers really well. Parked the bus at the apex. Make sure he got in front of Panda and parked the bus. 2 corners left. Turns 9 and 10. You have to get through them unscathed here. They're tricky corners. You can slip up so easily through here. Bell gets through 9. Will he get through 10? Yes, he does. A terrific race will end with Ryan Bell winning the Austrian Grand Prix. And T-Mac, I think he might have left his teammate through back into 4th. Either that or he made a mistake.
No. Actually, Big Al let T-Mac through before because he had better tyres, and then maybe they decided, okay, I'll go for Destil, and if I cannot overtake him, then they switch back.
You got to admire that kind of teamwork.
Yeah,
I must say for Alfa Romeo team, Big Mac, that's pretty solid. P4 and 5, big points. They'll be pretty happy with that. T-Mac will be happy with the top 5, I'd imagine. We're waiting on Spicy, who is crossing the line eventually. No rain at the end, but we got close to it. It is dark.
Yeah,
it is dark.
Maybe an extra safety car would have changed everything. But yeah, well done. What a race. I was really surprised by the dive from Panda into turn 4. That was amazing to watch.
He gave it everything right at the depth of the race. Couldn't quite pull it off. Bell just about had him covered. It was a superb drive from Ryan Bell. truly deserves the win here at the Red Bull Ring. Panda home in second place on their debut here in Tier 1. Destiel made those soft tyres survive. It's P3 for him. What a race here at the Red Bull Ring.
It was actually a kind of boring race, and then after the safety car came out, bang. Amazing stuff. Yep, yeah, really, really well done. It's a shame for Panda because it was his first race in Race Spec. So, you know, would have been quite a big thing to get a first win on your debut in Tier 1. That would have been huge, but GG to Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. Our unofficial results of the Austrian Grand Prix. Ryan Bell is your race winner. 0.3 of a second was the gap between the top two at the end, with Panda coming home in P2 on debut. Destiel home in P3, followed by Big Al in 4th, then T-Mac 5th, then Jimbin P6, Sire Luke 7th, Bags Liddell in 8th, followed by Wogboy and Spicy, rounding out the finishes. Only 10 finishes in this one, and Spicy got fastest lap, so you score that extra point. 3 retirements. Plebs with an actual retirement at turn 4. Ford and Leo voluntarily retired in the pit lane. So yeah, less than ideal for those two boys. No points for Ferrari or Red Bull for this round here at Austria. So Alfa Romeo, they're going to get a bit of a buff up in the Teams Championship. They're currently 3rd. I'll double check what they're on. I do have my notes here. Constructors standings. That is Formula Endurance. I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, I'm stupid. Yes, they are 3rd in the championship on 259 points. They're currently, what's that off the top of my head? That is 31 behind Ferrari on 290. So with the points both Al and T-Mac score, yeah, they're going to be right up towards the top after this round. We'll have to wait till everything's done in terms of stewards and whatnot, because there were incidents during that race, but yeah, that was something. Now, I normally would do interviews, but they're all PC, so I can't. We'll do a quick shout out. So Destiel, you put together quite a fine race. You were, for the most part, the only real challenger to Bell. It wasn't until the safety car came out that other drivers started to get involved in that fight for the race win. It was basically UV Bell throughout that. And yeah, you made the call to pit for soft tyres, which, it could have worked. If you got through traffic faster, it probably could have worked, but those tyres seemed pretty screwed by the end of the race. So yeah, a bit unlucky when it came to the strategy, but no, a solid effort overall. Panda debut couldn't have gone much better, if I'm being fair, minus that incident between yourself and Leo. I'm sure Leo would be not too happy about what happened there at turn 1, but other than that, that was a really good drive and demonstrates perfectly that you're tier 1 material. So stay a while, pretty pleased. Numbers aren't great. We had great numbers last week. I don't understand. We had a full grid at Circuit Paul Ricard. How did we not have a full grid at the Red Bull Ring? I do not know, but we didn't. But you came along and you proved to be more than capable, so please stay. Pretty pleased. But no, congrats on the P2. Well done. Anzac Day, is that what we're going to bring it down to? Okay. I guess a few people doing stuff that, yeah, like, I guess it does make sense. But yeah. Hopefully then, if that's the case, plebs, I hope next week is a bit better. Because, yeah, I was really pumped up for this week at Red Bull Ring, especially after what happened to Paul Ricard. Yeah, it did look sweaty, Luke. It really did look sweaty.
It was, definitely.
But, and a massive one to Mr. Bell. That was a terrific drive. As soon as you got out in front in the main race, You were fully in control. And the most astonishing bit was that second half. The pace that you had in the second half on tyres that were worse in terms of compound, they were still good. Like they were still, operating tyres. They weren't dead or anything. But the fact that you had 80-odd% battery out in front, man, that was pretty cool. And you put yourself in a position where, you could defend the race win. Panda put you under pressure, put you under a fair bit of pressure on the last lap with a big bomb down the inside at 4. But you took it quite well, and you ended up hanging on to a well-deserved win. And also, that 3.9 in qualifying. Holy mackerel. A 3.9. I thought a 4 flat was on the cards. I noticed your sector times on your previous lap when you did a 4.2, or 4.1 I should say. You lost a little bit in the final sector. You gained that back and you did a 3.9. That was so cool. Oh, but I think, Alex, that will wrap everything up. Not bad. Not a pretty good ending. A very good ending.
Yeah.
The mid bit, as you said, was a bit dull, but it had its moments here and there. But the ending was something else.
Exactly. Considering also the amount of drivers we had today, it wasn't bad at all.
That's right, and it harps back to what I said at the beginning of the stream. Driver numbers do not dictate race quality.
True.
Okay.
100%.
You can have good races with low attendance as much as you can have bad races with high attendance. It happens. And it proved today that, that still sticks. I've been saying that since 2019, and I'll continue saying it as well. But that was a very enjoyable end to the Grand Prix. Marco, thank you for joining me. Late, maybe, but you were here. And it's nice to have you here. It's been a while.
It is.
No,
Always
thank
a
you.
pleasure to be here, mate, and I'll try and be there for the last rounds of the season. Unfortunately, this season it's been quite hard to be there because of work, but I'll try and make it up for the last few rounds.
Your help is always appreciated. But no, thank you again. I think, folks, that will wrap everything up here for this stream. Another round of Pacific Tier 1 ticked off and out of the way. What a terrific race we had. But I think it's now time for us to end the stream. I've been Lane Everingham. My co-commentator for tonight is GeForce Pato. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for round 13 of the championship at Baku City Circuit for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Next week, I reckon, is going to be a fair bit of fun. Until then, it's goodbye.